Good day, everyone. So, today we will be discussing Russo-American Ballet. The first period of American ballet in 20th century has been called the Russo-American era because touring Russian dance artists made a pronounced impact on American audiences in dance. Dance scholar and author Lincoln Christine coined the term, which he used in his writings to support the need for an American ballet. The Russian influence began with the U.S. debut of Anne Pavlova and Mikhail Mordkin at the New York Metropolitan Opera House in 1910. No American audiences of the time, even in New York, had had much exposure to legitimate ballet. At the end of the 19th century, ballet dancers in America were performing solo acts in variety show on the vaudeville circuit, in extravaganza in Madison Square Garden, and in ballets as part of Metropolitan Opera productions. The ballerina and her female corpse dominated the stage. The major figures in ballet and choreography in the new century created new audiences for classical ballet, which in the 19th century had been seen only as part of the theatrical of musical forms such as operettas, burlesques, circuses, and minstrel in variety show. The Russian Revolution actualized a diaspora of artists, and Russian dancers who had toured with the devil decided to stay in the United States. This influx of well-trained artists, contemporaries of Michel Foucault and his ideas, had an important long-term effect of the development of ballet and ballet dancers in the United States. The dancers and choreographers who dominated this period were to provide a foundation of inspiration that would last for most of the century. Michel Foucault was born in St. Petersburg, Russia, and entered the Imperial Ballet School in 1889. After graduating, he immediately became a member of the Mariinsky Ballet. He was an excellent dancer and partner, often dancing with Pavlova and other prominent ballerinas. Fouquet joined Diaghilev's Ballets Russes as a dancer and choreographer, and his ballets dominated the company in its early years so much that the years from 1909 to 1912 have been called its Fouquet period. During this time, he established ballet as a major dramatic form, creating such ballets as Les Sylphides, Firebird, and Petrushka. In 1912, left Ballets Russes together with designer Alexandre Bernoy because of insufficient credit for their work. After 2 years, he rejoined producing the ballets Papillon, La Legende de Joseph, and Les Coq in 1930s, Fouquet returned to Europe and created 7 new ballets. He and Vera settled in Yonkers, New York in 1936 where they opened a dance school and continued to perform in the New York. Isadora Duncan influenced Fouquet's work with her idea that ballet should be an alliance with the other arts and thus reflect artistic unity and style, brought back male dancers as the central figure in ballet. He is also considered a transitional figure between Petpa's classical and late 19th century and the modern ballet that evolved in the first half of 20th century. To add also, ballet was saved from its past as entertained by Fouquet's five principle, which turned it into an expressive art. Here is Fouquet's five principles. First, each dance should use new forms of movement suitable to its subject and period. Second, dance and mime should be used to express dramatic action. Third, mime should be used only when the ballet's style dictates it. In other cases, the dancer's whole body, not only the hands, should be used to communicate. Fourth, the corps de ballet should be used for plot development and as a mean of expression. Lastly, ballet reflects the alliance of all the art involved in it. Music, scenery, dancing, costuming. Music should be a united composition that is dramatically integrated with the plot. Born in St. Petersburg, Anna Pavlova entered the Imperial Ballet School in 1891 and joined the ballet company of the Mariinsky Theater in 1899. By 1905, she had achieved the rank of ballerina. She had become a prima ballerina in Russia before she began dancing in Europe, the United States, and other stops of her world tours. Pavlova had already danced outside of Russia before she joined Daigi in 1909. During her first season, she performed in Le Pavillon de Armide. Pavlova made her first appearance in United States in 1910 with Mikhail Morgkin as her partner at New York's Metropolitan Opera House. The following year, she created her own company, recruiting many English dancers and a series of male partners for herself, and performed in London and on U.S. tour. Her company's repertory included experimental dances. Bronislava Nijinsky, sister of Nijinsky, was born in Russia into a family of dancers. She graduated from the Imperial Ballet School in St. Petersburg in 1908 and joined the ballet company of the Mariinsky Theater in 1910. She joined Diavil's Ballet Roses for its Paris season, performing in Folkin's ballets. The following year, she left the Mariinsky again to dance with Diabil. In 1913, after leaving the Ballet's Roses, she and her brother founded a short-lived company in London. After dancing for several years with the opera companies in St. Petersburg, she rejoined the Ballet Roses in 1921. Serge Diaghilev. Serge Diaghilev grew up in Perm, Russia, and as a child was interested in music, painting, and books. Intending to study law, he went to St. Petersburg in 1890 where he met designer Alexandre Bernois and Leon Bax and was introduced to ballet. As an impresario and founder of Ballet's Roses, he devoted himself to ballet and his company until his death in Venice in August 1929. Here is Diaghilev's Ballet Roses, chronology of works by season. From the turn of the century, the World War, a few ballet teaching manuals emerged. Louis Chauflif, a Russian dancer and teacher who came to the United States in 1904, wrote ballet technique books and published dances with accompanying sheet music. Eduardo Espinosa, Maître de Ballet for Royal Covent Garden Opera, the Empire, the Alhambra, and the theater in Paris, Berlin, and New York wrote Technology Dictionary of Dancing. He codified steps, creating a structure syllabus in 1922. English dance historian and publisher Cyril Beaumont, with Enrico Cachetti and his student Stanisla Edwowski, recorded Cachetti's teaching in the Manual of Theory and Practices of Classical Theatrical Dancing. The manual outlines Cachetti's method for teaching ballet in systematic sequence of daily classes. The early 20th century in America was a period of imported influence as dancers and companies from Russia brought their wealth and sophistication to share with American audiences. Pavlova, on her extensive tours, made a lasting impression on audience in America and throughout the world. Diaghilev's ballets Roses, through plague and with touring problems, provided an even more lasting gift to American ballet. The company members who remained in the United States nurtured ballet in the next decades. The Diaghilev's era in ballet spanned 20 years, of which only a few were spent in the United States. Nevertheless, it set the stage for emergence of American ballet. And that is all for Russo-American Ballet. Thank you so much.